Hi everyone, welcome to another Go Mojo Go video. Last week I've been really enjoying my PSVR gaming, especially in GT7. I have been struggling a little bit with the motion sickness, but only not too bad. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying racing in all the different modes. You may have seen my first stream a little while back. There was a particular mode that a little underrated. I thought it was quite good. That's the VR showroom, and I was thinking, my current car is about 8 years old now, and I'm probably going to hang on to it for a few more years. I'd like to hang on to my car for a good 10 or so years just to get my money's worth. But I was wondering, can I use VR as a tool to go car shopping when I'm ready to go buy a new car? So I thought I'd see if this VR, it makes a good tool to sit back at home and actually look at a few options when you're in the market. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I have my own budget. I've set my limit to about $80,000 maximum. Cars have to be the current model, so pretty much from 2021 onwards. And I went through all the cars in the menus that fit that criteria, and surprisingly there are only 4 makes to choose from. We already knew that the list of cars are pretty old in GT7, but really it was surprising just how few there were in that category. So I only came up with 4 options that fit within that category. So I'll go through which ones they are, and we'll have a look through each of them one at a time. So number 1, the cheapest, I'll go from the cheapest to most expensive, is the BRZ GR86. I think they're about $40,000 or thereabouts, not including on-road costs, so fairly reasonably priced. So let's go have a look at this car first. We'll do a bit of a walk around and then have a look at inside and sort of get a feel of what the car is like. And I'm not going to really go for test drives because obviously you can't really compare driving in GT7 with in real life the characteristics of the car. So I'm just purely going to use this as a way to see what the cars are like internally and see if I like the aesthetic and if I see myself driving that car on a daily basis. So let's pick something on the somewhere where it's outside, plenty of sunlight, which I have to say, I've never been here in VR, but it looks bloody amazing. I love the architecture. Now, this place reeks of money, but yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway, we're not here for the scenery, we're here to check out the cars, and I actually really do like the 86 in BRZ. Very understated. It's not sort of look at me styling, it's understated, but nice lines. Very smooth. I quite like the look of them. I don't really want anything too showy for myself, but something that's fun to drive, has a bit of power, can put the foot down on open roads when there are no radar traps around. Not that I'd say I recommend that kids, but yeah, it'd be a nice little compact car you can drive around, just have a bit of fun with. So yeah, I quite like the styling of it. Very subtle lines, very curvy, a few sharp edges. I do like the little ducktail wing at the back. Yeah, I think these are nice looking cars. So I'm just curious also to see how the 86 and the BRZ compare internally. Externally and mechanically they're almost identical. So let's have a look inside. So, well, I'm sitting brake. Let's see if I can change my perspective a little bit so a bit more realistic. Here we go. So as you can see, it's pretty basic. Well, maybe we shouldn't call it basic. I'll call it, I don't know, maybe we'll stick with basic. Steering wheel looks pretty plasticky. Got a nice electronic dashboard, which I really appreciate. Start-stop button, which is cool, and all the usual temperature controls. The little space where you have the GPS multimedia is a bit odd that it's blacked out. I assume that pops out when you want to activate it. It opens up. I guess you don't want distractions when you're on the track, maybe, but on a day-to-day basis that kind of looks weird, having that blocked out and not having it visible. So I don't really like the look of that. It does. Here's the window controls on the right hand side. It's spacious. I think I'm not particularly tall. It looks like it's a nice, comfy car to drive. Bugger all space at the back. Anyone sitting in the back will struggle with their legs. I can't see move too far back, so I can't see yourself having passengers back here. Look at the leg space, hardly anything. I guess the passenger would have to move, front passenger have to move the seat all the way forward to allow for a back passenger. But yeah, I'd rule out any passengers in this car. So yeah, height adjustable traction control on or off, that's pretty cool. So, oh, it's that track, does it say track settings? Oh, that's pretty cool having that there. Yeah, pretty basic controls. Yeah, I mean, it's only $40,000, so it is a budget car, and I'm sure it drives really well. Got good visual clearance over the bonnet, so yeah, it's a nice but budget sports car. I probably want, if I'm going to buy a new car, I'd probably want something a little flashier myself. I do like the odd luxuries. That little space without the media center is a bit odd for me. But yeah, overall, it's a good little sports car, budget sports car. So quite interesting. But yeah, I think what we might do now is we'll jump into the 86 and just see how that compares on the inside. Alright, here we are with the 86. As you can see, it looks almost identical. The grille is a bit bigger. I think I prefer this grille. Kind of makes it look a little sportier. That's my personal opinion. So that's probably the only difference between the two externally, I think. The rear end is pretty much absolutely the same, other than the badges. But yeah, let's go back inside. And I'll reset the camera again, and yeah, exactly the same styling inside. It's nothing different whatsoever. Maybe just the side doors have got a bit of extra color, but other than that, it's exactly the same inside. So really not that much difference between the two. Would I buy this? Probably not. I don't know, without driving it. If it's really fun to drive, if it sounds good. We've got the manual version. I might consider it, but yeah, it's a little simple for my taste, and it kind of looks a bit too plasticky. But it's hard to judge, really. It does feel like, and it would be a comfy car. The seats, nice bucket seats, but yeah, maybe not my favourite out of the list of 4. So yeah, anyway, that's a good look at the BRZ 86. So let's have a look at the second car on my list. Alright, the next car on the list is the Toyota Yaris, GR Yaris. I really like this car. It's a WRC homologated edition, and anyone who knows me knows how much I love rally cars in general. So this really appeals to me. The idea of having a homologated special rally Toyota Yaris really tickles that bone, that rally bone in me. I really would love to have a rally car. Funny thing is, when they designed this, well, during the design process, I think the rally rules changed. They went to a hybrid rules, and even though they were building this to fit into the WRC season, ended up not using it because of the changes in the rules. But it's still rally ready, four-wheel drive Toyota Yaris. I really like the look of it. It's got good lines, curves in all the right places. It's really sort of low down and wide. It's just got this posture that it just means business. It looks mean, and I really like that. So yeah, I reckon this is a great car. Retails in Australia at about $55,000. You'll have to do your own conversions, whether you're in UK, Europe, or US. But quite an expensive car. It's a little hot hatch, you can call it. But the amount of tech involved and the fact that it's you can take that on dirt roads and it will eat it up for breakfast. That really appeals to me. So let's go sit inside and let's have a look around. Once again, it's nothing fancy, a lot of plastic and rubber. I quite like the electronic dashboard. They've got the multimedia kit that's up there proud, a little too high, sort of kind of almost impedes your view in the middle of the windscreen there, but other than that, I reckon it looks pretty good. Lots of controls and buttons on the steering wheel. I like the pedals. They look like they're ready for business. Manual, of course. Push normal. Sport and track. Okay, sport and track mode. Okay, I think you can adjust the differential, so you can either go all four-wheel drive and adjust at 70/30 or whatever the sport settings are. So yeah, it looks pretty good. The back, similar to the 86, there's a little more leg room at the back, so you can probably squeeze in adults at the back, or at least kids. Looks like there's sort of like faux leather and Alcantara. I do like the seats. They look quite nice, actually. I think they're better than the 86 and BRZ. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. See the speakers on the pillars there. I'm not sure how many speakers it has, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, I quite like this. It does look, yeah, in my opinion, a little better than the 86 BRZ. Odd little dials in the middle there. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I can definitely see myself driving this on a daily basis and then head on off to a few dirt tracks in the hills near where I live for a bit of fun. But yeah, this is really nice. So yeah, let's have a look at the next car on the list. Next on the list is the legendary Honda Civic Type R. We're getting towards the pricey end of my price range. This is about 72,500 Australian dollars with drive away. It includes on-road costs, so that's that. Not the, in my opinion, not the best styling car. It's got a lot of angles, which kind of works, but it's not really my favourite look. I prefer the more curvier cars, but it does look mean. I do like the front end. It does look like it knows what it is and means the business. So yeah, it does show some intent in its styling. So yeah, look, the rear end, I'm not a fan of the rear end, all those angles. So yeah, it could do better with the rear end, but that is a typical Honda Civic, really. So yeah, it's not my favorite looking car, but I'm sure it is an awesome beast to drive, and it is on the top end of my price range at 72,500. So yeah, that's a tall ask, but definitely doable with a bit of a loan on top. So is it worth it? I reckon it probably would be, but hard to judge without driving it. But yeah, let's go in and have a look at what it's like sitting inside. And as you can see, we're looking at it's looking a little more plush now. You got the red accented Type R seats, which look pretty cool. Still a bit of plastic around, but not too bad. Dashboard is split into 3 sections, which is pretty cool. All electronic, of course. Red steering wheel looks amazing. I really do like the steering wheel controls. It means the business. All the red does mean go fast, doesn't it? With the multimedia controls in the middle. It's quite a small screen, actually. But you're not buying the car from a multimedia kit or a GPS kit, are you? So it does what it's built for, nothing more. Air conditioner controls, and you got your comfort, or you can change the driving style with the buttons on the left hand side. Brake hold and park brake. And what is this? 6-speed manual. Interesting. And the back, yeah, it's got a bit of leg space, kind of like the Yaris, but yeah, nothing flash. looks like leather seats at the back as well, the red trimmings, and the red steering, the seat belts are pretty cool too. And you got some boot space, I reckon, at the back too. So it would be an overall really good day drive. I reckon you can drive this every day, and then you have the power for a bit of fun on the weekends too. So yeah, this is really nice. This is really nice. Let's see if I can reset the camera to sit a bit higher. No. I'm trying to reset, so I'm trying to get a realistic angle of where my seating position would be. Probably, yeah, this would be what my seating position would be. So yeah, good view over the bonnet. The pillars are a bit big, I think, but not too bad. But yeah, this is quite good. I can definitely see myself driving this thing if I could afford it. I could push it, and I'll look at the pedals as well. Nice racing pedals too. Type R on the carpets as well. Look, this looks really nice. Of course, I would love to give it a test drive, but we can't really do that right now. So yeah, well, that's not the point of this exercise. It's really just to have a look at what they're like. Help you probably narrow your choices before you even step foot in the showroom, actually. But yeah, this is really good. So let's move on to the final pick on the list. And the final car on the list is the 2023 Nissan Z. It is my favorite car of the lot. Looks amazing. I love the lines. It's pretty curvy. It's got a couple of sharp edges on the bonnet, which sort of accentuates the car, gives it a bit of a muscular look. The grille is probably the weakest part of the car, but it's not too bad. I love the lights. The curves are really nice. I do like the side profile as it slants towards the back there. Nice looking stance. I think it's an absolutely beautiful car. Retails in Australia at about $73,000 for the coupe, and beyond my $80,000 budget to $80,500 for the Proto, and none of those prices include drive away, so you throw in an extra $5+ grand. So Proto is out of my budget. The regular coupe may be able to afford if I get a loan, a significant loan. Is it worth it? Look at this. I think this is a magnificent looking car. I reckon it's beautiful. I love the doors. Just the side profile is beautiful. I quite like this. By far my favorite out of this lot, and also the most expensive. But yeah, I really like the look of this car. So let's jump in, shall we? And look at that. Look at this. Now we're talking. You've got some leather seats. And look at that dashboard, fully electronic. It's one piece, nothing else there. I believe you can adjust the dash to customize it as you want to, which is really cool. Steering wheel, I think I like the Honda steering wheel a little better, but this is pretty cool. Check out the controls. The media center in the center looks really nice. Flush, very basic looking, but functional and integrated into the dash. I like the dials sitting up there as well. They look pretty cool. Not sure what this is. So it's an automatic, this version. So neutral drive. Okay, that's odd sort of auto stick there. A little different. I'd get the manual if it's available, but yeah, that looks pretty good. So yeah, looks really nice in here. I like the the loopy door handles as well. In the back, well, it's a two-seater, so I forgot it was a two-seater. And it looks like there's some boot space there as well. Not much, but you can store a bag or two in there. I can't really adjust the mirrors, but doesn't look like you have that much of a view at the back through the mirrors. But yeah, this looks really nice. Whether or not I can afford it is another question. And you can see you can all electronic adjustable seats as well, next to the park brake or handbrake there. Yeah, so I can raise the seat levels. That's cool. Both sides are electronic seat controls, pretty cool. Yeah, this is really nice. So yeah, that's it for the 4 cars. I reckon VR and GT7 would be a really cool way of looking at cars if you're in the market of buying something. Unfortunately, the cars available are all pretty old. If you're looking in the second-hand market around the 2015, 2016 era, that's a lot of cars to have a look at. New cars, not so much. I'm not sure how useful it is practically, but potentially you could use VR to do some showroom shopping before stepping into the real world showrooms and being harassed by salesmen. So yeah, I think there's some potential use here for, other than driving, having fun in Gran Turismo. You can actually have some practical purpose, usefulness, I should say. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave this here. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you got something out of it. Let me know what you think of this style of video. But yeah, I look at yeah, I'm not sure I like that styling down there, but oh well, you don't look at your feet after all. You're looking at the windscreen. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.